Well, welcome back, my dear friends. Good to see you all again. On this fine Monday, we are in a new school icon, FJ40. Specifically, it is number 161. It is built in the new school style with a bunch of kind of neat variants and options. And it is based on basically an upcycled 1968 US market FJ40. So there we go. Got all the numbers out of the way, or some of them. New school, Eucalyptus Green, lovely color, one of my favorites. It is pretty much straightforward new school when it comes to like the basic package, the new school wheels, the bumpers and all the goodies. And then there are a couple modifications done to this one at the client's request. So whereas normally in the rear, we have the dual carrier rear bumper setup, we modified it on this one so it just has the tire carrier and we deleted the secondary swing out carrier. Why, you might ask? Well, because the right side rear bifold door, as chosen on this truck, he did the bifold doors instead of the drop down tailgate. That's one less thing to actuate. So you can open just that passenger half door and climb right in and party on versus having to deal with that secondary carrier. We also did a set of very rare factory FJ40 1975 and newer hard doors. Those are OEM, all new OEM everything, except the glass is aftermarket. Can't get the Toyota glass anymore. But all the whiskers and weather strips and window regulator, interior door hardware, cups, handle, pull strap are all OEM. Then the door panel is our design, which is clearly inspired by the original design, but higher quality materials and sound deadening. And then we added a mat pocket for just a little bit of bonus storage room down low. In the second row on this truck, we are featuring the tuck and tumble 2-passenger removable bench seat. And that has 3-point shoulder belts, as do the front buckets. All seats in this truck are trimmed in the standard new school icon Chilowich woven vinyl, BMW OEM Marine rated vinyl on the rest of the seat bodies. The front seats have the seat heater option built into them. The door panels are done in the same vinyl. And then we did not do a full hard top. We did do the standard soft top. You know, you can take the full soft top on and keep the hard doors, or take the whole party off, or just take the rear 3 panels of the top. You can scroll and roll them or remove them. Then you just have the shaded canopy, but it's a little bit quieter inside when we do the full factory steel doors, obviously, because of the real glass and more layers of insulation. The audio system on this one is our elevated audio system. It features all the appropriate options, and it's running, of course, the Pioneer, I think it's now 8700 NEX head unit, which has tetherless CarPlay, Bluetooth navigation, HD, AM, FM, CD, yada, yada, yada. And then Focal audio K2 speakers. And then the amp and bass are integrated into the driver's seat structure. Underneath the passenger seat, you've got the tuck and tumble apparatus to aid ingress egress to the rear bench. And then of course you've got the Dynamat lined rubber backed Chilowich topped removable floor mats. Running the Icon Rosen sun visors. We're running the Icon stainless steel powder coated center console. And of course the standard new school dash layout with the clock, the Dakota digital gauges that I redesigned, all the machined aluminum panels and housings and glove box, the aircraft style 4-wheel drive instruction plate, and the double hard coat aluminum dash vents for the heat vent and AC system. And those are the ones that have the push-pull option to block off airflow and send it just exactly where you want it. You'll also notice that this client selected the rarely seen mil-spec headlights. I really dig them, but there's a simple fact that they are quite polarizing. They're incredibly effective. They just have a very unique aesthetic. Some love it, some hate it. We've got the Icon fire extinguisher the sport pedals. I think that's it. Moving on to the outside, new school front bumper, modified new school rear bumper. You'll notice in the rear that there are two 2-inch hitch receivers. That's because this client requested class 3 capability for towing. So we did the electrical connections to ease that process for him, and then had the class 3 rated hitch designed, which braces the load directly to the chassis. New school wheels, forged aluminum, 18-inch, and then the Icon aluminum rearview mirrors and all the usual get up. The mechanics on this truck, we are featuring basically it's a variant of the LS3, so it's an aluminum 6.2 fuel injected General Motors V8 at around 420 some horses, and high threes on the torque. We're running the truck application Fiat injectors and intakes, so the torque curve can be controlled and mapped more appropriate for this sort of vehicle than like a Camaro. Behind the General Motors V8, you will find the Asen Warner AX15. So it's a manual transmission, 5 speeds, which in turn is sending power through the Atlas twin stick shift on the fly part-time 4-wheel drive transfer case. Axles are Dana based, so 44 high pinion front, 60 series foundations in the rear. Those are all new down to the castings and made for us by our friends at Dynatrac. Of course, we're running the ARB locking differentials with a dedicated air compressor for front and rear axles. And of course, the Icon standard equipment, epically good, hydro boosted Brembo Sport brakes are on this truck as well. Never have too much brake power. What else? We've got the tunable nitrogen charged Fox Racing and Eibach coil equipped sport suspension. We have the Viair dedicated air compressor. Just a footnote on that. The ARB compressor, it's great for the duty of the axles. I mean, if you're going to be airing up dirigibles and power tools and stuff, not so good. Viair is a much higher output compressor, so if you have utility beyond the locking differentials and the occasional tire inflation, definitely recommend that Viair option. We also have the AMP Research powered steps. So thank you. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch these videos, learn all of the layers of the onion that makes an icon an icon. Make sure to watch our hundreds of other videos of previously completed projects. I've been pretty darn diligent trying to capture every single build, covering at least the last 350 or so icon builds. And it's something it's hard to do, but I think it's really important. So we're going to continue trying to do that for you. Any questions, pick up the old school telephono and give us a call at 818-280-3333. The somewhat old school nowadays website is Icon4X4 and Icon4X4 for Instagram and Facebook. Be well, enjoy life. I hope spring and summer is good for you and the opening of the world is happening. And be conscious, be considerate, be well. See you around.